I'm so glad everyone has a best friend. Well, I had a best friend 2 years ago. His name was Henry. We hung out all the time. Like, imagine how much you hang out with your best friend. I probably hung out with my best friend more, because that's just what happened. I know, exactly, right? That much. Well, do any of you guys watch Family Guy? Yes! I love every girl who just said yes. That is awesome. Okay. We loved Family Guy. We watched so much Family Guy. I could probably seriously tell you guys every episode. It was amazing. But we hung out all the time, and I could tell them things that I couldn't tell, other people, like, because all of you girls probably had things that you talk about boys or whatever, I don't know what girls do during girl talk. But, we had that kind of connection where I could just tell him things that I couldn't tell anyone else in the world. Well, there's this one weekend, we were invited to a costume party. And it wasn't just like a stupid costume party. Like for us, we have like Halloween and we kind of dress up like pumpkins sometimes, or dress up as like a ghost, like that's really creative. I always went as myself because it was really cheap and I got free candy. I know, a lot of people didn't like it, but I still got candy. I didn't care. So we were invited to this costume party, and it wasn't anything like that. It was like just dress ridiculous, like make everyone laugh at you and you win a prize. I wanted to win a prize. I wanted to get laughed at. And so did Henry. But to understand what happened, you have to understand Henry. First of all, Henry never cared about what people thought of him. He was one of those guys that could just do the stupidest thing in the world and have everyone laughing at him, and he loved it. He didn't care what you thought of him. And he also, as I just mentioned, made everyone laugh all the time. He was one of the funniest guys I've ever met. So, the night of the costume party, I pull up by myself in my car, and as I get there, I don't even remember what I was wearing, which probably sounds like, how can he forget? That's how stupid my costume was. But when I walked in, there was Henry, and he was standing like this, with the biggest grin on his face, like this. But he was wearing this ridiculously tight tracksuit. If you know what I'm thinking, you're picturing this tracksuit that reveals everything. It was one of those. It was intense. Yes, exactly. It went from his neck to his knees, and there was no room for oxygen between the fabric and his skin. I was scared for myself and for him. He won. I couldn't believe that he wore that. You see, for me, I could have never worn that. I'm way too worried about what people think of me. Everyone laughed at him all night. But he didn't mind, that, I guess you could call it negative attention. He didn't care, And me, I cared. All through high school, I had this problem where I didn't have my own identity. I kind of got into a school, I didn't know people, and so you join circles that accept you. So if this group accepts me, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to stay in this group. So if I have to make fun of that group, or pick on them, or whatever, or steal their lunch, I would do that because that would help me fit in with this group. So I looked like I had a lot of confidence. And if you had seen it, you'd have been like, man, there's Ryan. He has so many friends. He's probably just like living the high life, having all the fun in the world. But deep down, man, I had no confidence at all. Well, after this costume party, 2 weeks later, I was going for a family holiday. I was packing up for a family holiday, getting ready to go. We were driving up north. So as I'm packing up, I get all my stuff in my car, and I walk back in, of course, to say goodbye to my roommates. Well, I walk in the door, and a lot of my roommates are talking and hanging out with friends, and then Henry is lying there on the couch. And he is just fast asleep, guys. He had such a busy week, and you could tell he was really tired because the TV was on, people were talking, and he's still asleep. That's how tired he was. So I was like, I'll say goodbye to the rest of my roommates, and I'll let Henry sleep. Because I've only been gone for a week and a half. I can handle not talking to Henry for a week and a half. I'll be okay. So I left. And I'm on this holiday, and I've been on it for 3 days, and I get a call from one of my other roommates. And so I pick up the phone, I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? And he goes, Ryan, are you sitting down? I was like, yeah, I was in the car at this time, on my way up north. So I was like, yeah, I'm in the car, I'm sitting down, what's up? He goes, well, dude, I hate to tell you this, but while riding his bike to school this morning, Henry got hit by a car. That was kind of how I felt without the laughing. No, but I mean, I heard that news, and it felt like my world was about to fall apart. Because not only was my best friend in a hospital and I couldn't talk to him, but I hadn't said goodbye. And it's one of those things, you're going to see him again, right? Why say goodbye to someone you're going to see again? I had no idea that this could even happen. It didn't even cross my mind. So I prayed so much for Henry those next 3 days. I was like, he's got to make it through, I want to see him again, tell him, all those things that we've always talked about. I want to talk about those things with him again. So I prayed for him. 3 days later, I got a call from the same roommate. And unfortunately, he said, this morning, Henry died. And I gotta tell you guys, the second I heard that, my heart just dropped to the pit of my stomach. Like, I didn't know what to do. And not only was I really mad that I hadn't said goodbye, and I was like, well, what if I had said goodbye? Maybe that would have changed what happened, I don't even know. But I was so angry at God because I prayed to God for 3 days nonstop that my best friend would make it through this, and he didn't. Why would God let that happen? Why would he take away a best friend from me? And if he knew that Henry was going to die, why wouldn't he just done something, maybe have Henry be awake, or let me say goodbye? Like, why would he put me through this? I was so angry at God. And I stayed angry for a long time. Alright, thanks guys. So, after Henry died, and I'm really struggling with, why would God allow him to die? Especially after I hadn't said goodbye. What was wrong with the situation wasn't that I was mad at God. And it was okay for me to miss Henry and to want Henry to be back hanging out with me. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that in light of everything that happened, I forgot that God loved me. And that was really the problem. You see, God loves me so much that his son, Jesus, he died for my sins. And this is something that I don't deserve at all. There's no way I deserve it. And a relationship with God, a friendship with God, that's something that doesn't just go away at the end of the day. I can't, start a relationship with God and just, talk to God and then go away for a weekend. And if I come back, maybe God won't be there. God is always there, guys. He's always there for me. And eventually, I realized what Henry was experiencing after he died. Even though I miss him, and I wish he was back hanging out with me, watching Family Guy, talking about girls or whatever. He's in heaven. He's in heaven. And that's so awesome. What he's experiencing right now, I can't wait to experience that. And I still wish he was here. You see, Henry realized that life is temporary. I never understood that. But that's where he got his confidence from. He knew it didn't matter what other people thought of him. He got his confidence from God. And since then, I've gotten my confidence from God too. It doesn't matter what people think of me, if they think I look funny, if they think I have a weird accent, if I walk weird. I don't have to, be different for God because he loves me the way I am. And he made me just the way I am for a purpose. I don't have to be Erica. I don't have to be Andrew. I don't have to be Chris. And I don't have to be Ellie. Now God loves them just as much as he loves me. But he made me the way I am, and I don't have to create someone else in order to fit in with God. And that is so awesome. I still get made fun of, even though I don't care as much about what people think. I'm sure I get made fun of all the time, or I get looked down upon because of what I believe or things I say, but I don't get confidence from my friends anymore, from my peers. I draw confidence from God. And that's made all the difference in the world. Honestly, I'm never going to forget Henry, and I'm always going to miss him. But he left me with two things. He left me knowing that God is the best friend I can ever have, and that God's never going to leave me. He'll always be there. And he left me knowing that God made me the way I am, and I don't have to care about what my friends think of me. I can just be myself, and God loves that. How many of you guys here have Facebook? Do a lot of you girls have Facebook?
Yeah.
Yay! Me too. I have Facebook too. Well, Henry had Facebook, and this is just incredible. The day he died, his Facebook status, the only thing it said was, "I'm ready." And that was it. You guys, of course Henry was ready. He knew and he was confident that when he died, God would take him to be with him. And because of Henry, now I am too.